Okay, to transform Motormaster from robot mode to his vehicle alt mode, let's come to his hand and fold up these fingers into a fist. And then you want to lift up this top panel piece of the forearm so you can rotate the fist up and in, and then close that panel piece back down. Come to the side, straighten out his arm, and then push that up all the way. And do the same on the other side. You want to fold up his fingers into a fist, lift up the top panel piece of the forearm so you can rotate the fist up and in, close that panel piece back down, and then straighten out his arm, push that up all the way like so. And then we can bring the camera up a little bit more so we could see here the shoulder joints. You want to bring them out of the shoulder, so you want to grab the back of his shoulders, and then you want to pull these out on both sides like so. And then these shoulder joints here, the die cast part, are on sliders, so you want to pull and extend. So you could see it, you want to extend these out. And once we got that done, then we could take his head, rotate it around 180, come to his waist, and you want to lift up the waist panel piece up, and then use that to lift up the top chest panel piece up. And then you want to fold up and down the waist panel piece like so. And then we can now have the room to rotate these arms in, but we need to first get these tires out so that they can rotate by lifting this up. And to do that, we need to come up here to release these panels by bending out and up. You could see it's a little hook, and do it on the same side. You want to bend it out and up so you can lift it, and then you're going to pull it out, but you want to go gently with it, because here you could see there's a hook panel piece. So if you're just rough and just pull it out, you might accidentally break this small hook panel piece. So you want to bring it out slowly and gently, and you could see the tires are now moving out of the way, and now you have the clearance here to now rotate these shoulder joints up 90 degrees. And then you can fold out the arms, and now we need those extending die cast piece. Now we want to push them back down, so come here, grab here and here, and then push those back in. And after you push them in, then you can rotate these arms in together. You could see the tab in the slot. Line it up, tab it in, give it a good squeeze, make sure it goes in, tabs in all the way, make sure it's all nice and flush like so. And then we come here to the back, and here you want to pull this out very slowly and carefully. And I'm just letting you know this part might be a little challenging, so you just have to know how to pull this out so that this joint here flips from the inside out to the outside. But anyways, after you got that done, then you can come here to the bottom, and now we need to also come to the bottom so we can capture this all on camera. And then those little hook panel pieces, you want to lift those up on both sides. And then after that, now we can take this whole piece here and rotate it around 180 like so. And then these tires, the front and the back, you want to pull out the back tires, which will give you room to bring out these gray rear bumpers. So now you want to rotate them out, and this side has the tab, and then this side has the slot. Tab those in, and it doesn't lock in place, you could see, so you want to just try to get this as straight and parallel as you can. And then after you got that done, here I'm just trying to show you, there are 2 rectangular slots there and 2 rectangular slots down here, and those are for the corresponding tabs here. and here, and then the 2 die casts here and there. And now, so you want to first straighten out these wheels so that they're parallel here. They don't lock in place, so you might go too much or too little, so you just need to get it as straight as you can. And then you want to guide it so that those tabs are on top of those slots. And once you get it on top, you're going to have to apply some force to push those tabs to go in, and make sure you get it in all the way so that these wheels line up here. And then after we got the bottom part done, now we can bring the camera back up so you can see. And now we want to come here and separate the 2 sides of these panel pieces that form the trailer. Open that up, and then you can see there's this center one you want to bring down that has 2 small panel pieces that you want to bring out, and make sure you bring it out all the way so it's nice and straight. And then you want to, now you could lift this up and you could see we're forming the trailer. And then we need to come back down so you could see. And then this piece does come down, which forms the midsection of the trailer, but I'm not going to open up all these panels because then they're going to get all in the way. But now that we got this here, I'm just trying to show you that when you open this up, the side of the back trailer, there's a little small panel piece here that you want to, I don't know if I'm capturing it all on camera, but you want to bring this small panel piece out. And this piece also has a small panel piece that you also want to bring out. So there's these 2 small panel pieces that you want to bring out. And then you want to straighten this up. And this is not as simple as just lift it up, because you could see it's not flush because it's a double hinge. So you need to know when it's a double hinge, you need to engage both of those. So now you could see it's nice and straight. And then you can fold this back up and then come to the other side and do the same. So the same thing here, you want to just bring this down, and you want to now extend all these panel pieces here for this side. And like I was telling you, there's those 2 small panel pieces that you want to bring out here. This side's a little bit harder. You might have to just move these things. Yeah, let's see if I can easily find a way to get this panel piece out. This is where Spudger might help. But you want to bring this panel piece out. Once you do, then you can fold this piece back up and in. And then straighten out the side here. Remember I said the double hinge, so you need to engage the double hinge so it's nice and flush. And then after we got that, now we can connect this here. The 2 tabs go in the slot right there. So you want to line it up, tab it in, give it a good push, and then rotate this around to the other side and do the same on this side. Find those 2 tabs and the slots, line it up, tab it in, give it a good push. And then now we got the 2 sides connected. Now we can bring this back piece that has these 2 mushroom tabs that are going to tab into the slots here. So here you want to push these tabs in very gently, and I'm making the emphasis on this because this is not as simple as just push, lift this up, tab it in. Because there's so many panels here, I'll give you an example. If you just do that, you see these panels, they might just move on these hinge, and then you have to straighten out these panels. To avoid that mess from happening, like I said, you want to go slow, be patient, just get these things tabbed in as gently as you can to avoid any disaster happening. And then we can now come to the top, and let's see if we can come up a little bit so we can see. This top piece also has panels that you need to open up, and you could see there's a slot that's going to tab in here, and then you want to open up this panel piece very slowly and gently so that you're not, you know, untabbing it here all over the place. And then you're going to bring them together, make sure that these are straight, and then you could see that there's 3 tabs, 1, 2, 3 slots are going to line up, and then these slots are going to line up here. And like I just said, you want to get these together very slowly, carefully, and gently to avoid these panels from opening up, popping out. Just get them lined up, and then once you do, then you have to apply some force to push it in to make sure it gets in all the way. And then here, this part needs to be flush also, so you can actually stick your finger from underneath and you could actually push it out so it's nice and flush. So this one, you could see it's in a little bit, so my finger's in here and I'm pushing it out so it's nice and flush. And then after we got all of that, now we can come here to his hips. And his hips, you know, he has the 2 hip skirts, so you want to lift those up all the way at an angle on both sides. So lift that hip skirt up at an angle. And then he has the side hip skirts. You can see there's 2 tabs. So here you want to bring it out 90 degrees as best as you can, because it doesn't lock in place, so you might go too much or not enough. So just do your best to try to get it out 90 degrees on both sides. And then got all that done, and now we can work on the legs. And I'm pausing and laughing because this part is really involved. There's a lot of steps. So first, let's spread his legs out at a stance to give us some room to work. And then we'll come here to the feet. And first, these full wheels back here, you want to lift them up. You want to actually, it tabs in. So untab that and then rotate it up on both sides. And then we want to come to his feet at the bottom. And you want to bring out the bottom of his foot, and then you could see those heels. Fold these up, and then these full wheels here I laugh because this is one of those interesting things. You basically pulling down and in and out and back in and up, and you know, so but basically you're rotating it around 180, but it's basically on a hinge slider. And then once you get it rotated in, then you want to bring out the real tires. And then now that you have the clearance underneath here, you can now rotate these full lights around. So now it's on the back side. And then this piece, now you on this double hinge, the gray piece, you want to fold that up and in. And then come to the other side and do the same. So same thing here, you want to take those full wheels, rotate it down, in, up, down, in, up, till it's rotated in, nice and flush. And then you can bring the real wheels out. And then with that clearance here, you could rotate these full lights around 180. So now they're in the back. And then on this double hinge, you want to bring the piece in like so. And then now you can spread his legs out a little bit more, and then we'll work on one side. So just first letting you know, you want to bring down this inner part of his lower leg, the panel down. But to do that, you first need to pull out this bottom piece, the gray piece here, and then you're going to untab it. There's a lot of tabs here, but you're going to untab it from the top because it's coming from the top down. So you want to engage these top panel tabs. You want to pull down, and if it catches here, it doesn't come down all the way. You just need to know that it's because it's a double hinge. So you need to engage that double hinge to be able to bring this out all the way. And then once you do, you could see that this black panel piece, you want to bring that up 90 degrees like so. And then this whole piece will come out. And once you bring it out, you could see there's a slot, and that's for this tab here. So now you want to get this tab up to line up with that slot. And here, this one, once you get that tab to line up, you want to apply some force to push it in all the way so it gets tabbed in. And then trying to do the reverse transformation, I know it's a little hard. Some people are doing things like using a spudger, but that's not the way to do it. There is a way that you can get it out, but I'll do that on the reverse transformation. But the main thing, you want to get that tab piece tabbed in here like so. And then now we want to bring out this piece. You could see there's two bars here. But before we could bring it out, we need to have the clearance, which this smokestack is in the way. So you need to rotate that smokestack out. And now you could see the tires in there. Now we have the clearance to bring this out. And you want to open up from the bottom here. So open this bottom piece out so you're forming an angle. And then this will come out. And you could see it's supposed to straighten out, but before you straighten it out, just bring it down here all the way at an angle, because here is where you need to bring out this panel piece that sometimes catches on this tire, and this position allows you to have the best clearance to bring this panel piece out. So I'll give you an example. So if I'm bringing it up, you could see now it's starting to catch on that tire. So you need to make sure that this comes down at this angle. That'll give you the clearance to bring this panel piece out. That's going to tab into that little gas tank area. Once you got that done, then if you see in here, trying to make sure I can capture everything, you could see there is the back part here that you need to bring out, this panel piece. There is a little slot for your fingernail, and you use your fingernail to flick this out as fast as you can so you have enough room to pull it out. And then you just need to get this to go over that little tab till it's all nice and flush like so. And then let's come to this side so you could see. Now we can lift this up. There are two tabs. There's a post and a tab, and then there's the corresponding slots for each. So lift that up, line those tabs up, tab it in, give it a good squeeze. And then now we need to gently push this smokestack up. Because of the tolerance, you do need to apply some force. But even though this is better quality plastic, because of the tight tolerance that forces you to have to apply force to push this up till it locks in, snaps and locks in place, you want to do it gently, and because you don't want to break it. Even though this is better quality plastic, the force you have to apply, if you're just being rough following instructions, lift this up, you might break this. So I'm just telling you how to do it safely and explaining why. And then once we got that done, then we can do the same on this side. So the same thing here on this side. So you want to spread his legs out so we have room to get to the inner part of the lower leg that you need to untab. But before you can untab it, you need to get this small gray piece on the bottom out first, like so. And then you're bringing it down from the top to the bottom. So the tabs, you want to grab the tabs from the top, and then you want to bring it down. And like I said, if it's catching here, you need to know that's because of that double hinge. So you need to engage that double hinge to loosen this up. So you can bring this out, and it actually catches on this little tab here. But here you could see that double hinge that I was telling you, and it also catches on that little tab that connects both of these together. But anyways, bring that down 90 degrees, and then you want to take this black piece and bring that up 90 degrees on both sides. Yeah, just bring it up 90 degrees. And then you can now bring out this whole piece. And like I said, once you do, you can see that little tab. You need to bring it up so it lines up with the little slot right here. And this is really hard, trying to make sure I capture all of this on camera so you can see. But get that tab to line up to that slot, line it up, tab it in, and make sure you give it a good force to get that tabbed in all the way. And then once we got that, then we need to bring out this piece. But this piece is a little different because this has this little panel piece here that you want to bring out that actually connects both of them together. So you need to bring that out first on this side, and then you want to bring this out. But like I said, you need to have the clearance. So the smokestack, you want to now rotate this out like so. And then now we have the clearance here to lift this bottom piece up at the angle. And then you're going to rotate this out. And remember, I said you want to keep this at an angle because this panel piece, you want to have some clearance so it doesn't catch on this tire. Because if you have it out and you're trying to pull it out this way, it's catching on this tire. And then once you do, then you get that tab to go into the gas tank. And then we can straighten this piece back up, and then trying to make sure you get all this on camera. Then you want to now lift up this front piece, those two tabs, get those lined up, tabbed in, give it a good squeeze. And then this one, again, remember, you have to, the tolerance is tight, so you have to apply force, and you don't want to break it by applying too much force. So just push this up gently so you don't break this nice smokestack, like so. And then after we got that, yeah, let's see if we can get this all on camera here. Now we got this done, and now we need to connect these bottom halves of these trailers. But first we need to get some clearance here. So first lift up this the full tire pieces, and then you want to bring out this front part of the front panel piece of the front part of the trailer, and then you could bring that down, and then this is going to come forward, and then up here you want to bring this up on a double hinge. So use that to guide it through to get that tabbed in. And then now here there's let's see if I can move this so you can see there is this silver piece that you want to bring out to the other side. And once you bring it out to the other side, you can see that this is now going to tab in here, and it's also going to fit into that little cutout. And this is the part that's actually really a little difficult getting it tabbed in. But remember what I told you, you want to go slow, be patient and gentle, because there's 1, 2, 3 tabs, and then the silver one that you want to get tabbed in along with this front piece. And I'm trying to get this where you could see, you get them all lined up, and you have to get it so that they tab in, which is a little challenging, but obviously it is going to tab in. And once you get the sides done, then you want to get this front piece in. And I guess it's good. You could see me struggling, and part of my struggle is the fact that I'm trying to also make sure I'm capturing this all on camera so you could see. And so let's see if try again here. But basically, you know what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get this to go up and tab in securely. And then you want to get this front part also to tab in, and the bottom part actually goes in, and you want to do it all gently like so. And that's a lot of work to get that done. So now we take up more of your precious time just to show you how to do it again on the other side. So this one, like I was telling you, you need to lift up these the panel that these faux wheels are on, so that when you untab it, there's two little posts right there, and then you can bring out the front part that has another panel piece that you want to bring down, and then you rotate that over to the front, and then this panel piece here, you want to engage that double hinge to bring this up so that it can tab in here on the top. And then the same thing here. I'm trying to be very careful not to get all of this untabbed as well. Like I was telling you, that silver piece here, you want to now bring this out 180 to the other side. And let's get ourselves orientated so you can see. And now we want to get all of this, those three tabs tabbed in, and I'm trying to see the easy way to do this and capture it all on camera so you could see. But you basically, the most important thing is you need to know that you're trying to get all of these things tabbed in very slowly and gently. And then the front piece is a little challenging because it tabs in here, but then this tab needs to go from behind. And we got that other side done. And let's see if we can get this out. And now you could see we got the two legs done. That now, before we bring these two legs together, now we need to bring them up. And here I'm just pointing out things to know. There's the hinge here that's going to lift this leg up. And then here at the knee, there's, double hinge. There's the upper and lower. You want to engage this upper part. So we're going to do one leg at a time, trying to be careful not to untab all of this. And you want to see I'm bending it down, and you could see that this leg is at an angle because it's supposed to line up parallel here with the forearm. And then now we're going to lift up his thigh, and I'm just doing it slowly, one click at a time. And then you can lift this forearm up a little bit so that the leg will tuck in underneath. So the leg needs to go up all the way, and then this angled piece, the upper joint, needs to come down. And here, if this is all on camera, you could see that that angled piece is now parallel with the forearm. And now you want to rotate this around to the other side, so that will take up more of your precious time to show you how to do it again on the other side. So the same thing, it rotates here and it rotates on the upper part of the double hinge of the knee. So as I'm carefully clicking these up, I want to engage this upper part to bring this piece back down. And there's no easy way to really just do it fast and easy. You just have to go basically one click at a time till you get these legs positioned in the place where they need to be, where this angle is now parallel with the forearm, and this piece is now coming down. And now that we got that done, now we can bring these two parts of the leg together. And here I just kind of point out, here this is a hook tab. So here you want to just gently go slowly and patiently because you're going to have to bend these over to get that hook tab to go in, and then you need to make sure the tabs up here lined up. And like I said, there's no easy way to do it other than going slow, being patient and gentle. And then down here, you know, there's the cavity you could for your room for your finger. So my finger is behind it, and now my finger is front. So now I can just gently get these pieces in. This is that over under tabbing system here. So I'm just trying to straighten it out so it's all nice and flush. And then this hook tab is in, these tabs are in. And after we got that, now let's see, we can come and bring these two parts of the cabs together. You basically, the tabs, you just find the tabs and the slot, line it up, tab it in, give it a good squeeze. And I think I forgot something here. I forgot to pull out that the back panel piece on this side. So I pulled it out on this side. So here, I guess maybe it's as good to take up more of your time. So I'll just do it again. It's just I forgot because I told you there's many steps involved in here. But you could see there is a little slot for your nail. You flick this out like really fast so that you can bring it out just enough for you to be able to pull it out, and then you can make sure that gets in front of that tab. So I forgot that piece. And then you can tab these two back in together, and then this bottom piece also tabs in together. That has this connecting piece that should have been like a hook thing, because now you're basically trying to bend this up to get that to go over that little slot. But basically you need to bring these two parts together and then make sure this piece falls down into that slot, and then this piece kind of got untabbed. So I'm putting my finger here underneath and gently trying to get that tab to go over, that mushroom tab to line up, and then up here just very gently making sure that hook tab's in, making sure this is all nice and flush. And then let's come back up here now so you can see. And now we can lift up these knees and then fold them up, and you could see they are gonna tuck in underneath here. And you want to just well, before that, now you could see these forearms have these panel piece. So you want to bring this out, and then you want to bring out the other side and rotate it around to the other side, so you could do the same thing. So you could see how hard it is to do all of this. Bring this panel piece out, and then bring this panel piece out, and it actually hooks in here. But here now we're gonna bring this panel pieces down, and these are also on a double hinge. So you can see you need to use those double hinge to make sure it comes down so it's nice and flush, and keep these panel pieces up. And then now you can lock this piece here gently, and then now we can open up this panel piece here. So let's come over here, and you want to open up these panel pieces so they're nice and flush. And then this is also on a double hinge, and you could see you want to get these all lined up very slowly, carefully, and gently. Get this to go in. You are gonna have to apply some force, and here's the double hinge. You just need to make sure it's nice and flush. Get all of these things carefully lined up and tabbed in, and then this top piece will come down. and then you rotate it around to the other side, so you could do the same on camera to take up more of your time. Open up this panel piece all the way so it's nice and flush. See, it's not flush, it's that double hinge. And then you want to bring it up and then get all these tabs to line up slowly and gently. And then after we got the last parts tabbed in, just make sure everything. Oh, see, I'm having difficulty because here I was telling you those hip skirts, you see it already moved in. That's why I said it. You have to make sure it's straight as possible, because it doesn't lock in place, because it also has to tab in here. And after we got all of that, just make sure that these hook tabs go in. Make sure that the tabs up here go in. Bring those top pieces down on top. Don't just press really hard. You want to be very slow and gentle. Just double check the other side. You can see it's gray there. And after all of that, now you could see we have, there is the sliding piece up here, so you could bring it forward so you could rotate it. Now we have Motormaster in his alt mode.